My real name is Bright Kelechi. Young Chief and Lil Bright has to do with Oniche, Voyager, somebody who is on a mission based on commission to affect lives. The mission is Lil Bright. The person who is on that mission is Young Chief. He is the prophet of the night. So a messenger who has come to deliver the dividends of Lil Bright everything, since we say the future is bright. And somehow I feel that I'm so young inside. You know, every day I feel like a young man. And I relate more with the young people than my age mates. And like somebody who has a vision for the next generation, I decided to answer Young Chief. I am a chief of my hometown. If I want to really relate with the younger ones, I have to act young. And that made me want to answer Young Chief. And because my name is Bright as well, my vision is about Lil Bright, and my mission has to do with Lil Bright. So this Young Chief thing and this Lil Bright thing is all about being that brand that wants to relate in the next generation in terms of music and items. Okay. I'm one of the Yagoos. I was born to Chief. My Chief is I've got brothers and sisters. I have 4 sisters and a brother. I had 2 brothers, we lost one. And my first son, I've got 4 sisters and a brother. I wouldn't say much about people from back except from the other one is Dr. Francis. And my sisters are the 2 arts. One is a lecturer, one is a lifetime, the other one is an actress, and a musician as well. The other one is into music. So my background has to do with arts. I come from a home that loves everything art. That's why most times I say art is all about art. Art is what it is. Art is the guy. Just do something that could be relevant, something that could leave footprints on the ground. So to say a little about myself, I was born 1972, April 22. I went to schools like every other person, but I wouldn't say my education has to do with school. You know, my education has to do with travel, normal everyday practice. My journey throughout places and things, So I'm about that, and I'm still there. So I think if I will tell you about myself, it's all about you looking at me and you can read from the way I behave. The only thing I can actually hide are things I do and I don't want people to see. It's not everything I want can be a case for me. If I have to speak for myself, my name is Bright and I'm living that bright life. For somebody who is from the east and schooled in the north, I went to ABC Kaduna for a while. I schooled in Lagos as well. I rocked south for real. You should know it's about south, west, east and north. So growing up for me was like a journey. Like I said, I live in art. So whatever I have to do has to do with, traveling, seeing things for myself, trying to, you know, improve on the things I've seen, because no idea is original. I'm this kind of person that wouldn't say I want to really invent. No, it's not about inventing, it's about consolidating on what somebody has done before and trying to do it in my own way. And my way has to do with look right, you know. So growing up for me is like doing those things again in my way and see the possibility of making the next generation, you know, see from my point of view and see if they can actually, you know, relate to my point of view and better themselves from my own point of view and my vision. So I've been everywhere that I think I should be, and the only places I am yet to go, I mean, as time goes on, I'll get there too. So with the journey, when I walk, I'm not
So, I mean, what is Aladdin? What did you see in life that really made you go into the entertainment industry?
Like I said, I must have seen a lot. Only Egypt have free from it.
What made you create that change?
You should know I'm friends to a lot of people. One, I've got a sister that I helped into entertainment. You know, as far back as when we were small, I've always loved music. I remember very well that there are so many things I wanted to do as a young man, but I come from a home where my father is actually a businessman. He's a trader. He's a successful businessman. You know, so his part of thinking and, you know, plans for me was that I go to school and join the family business. But for me, I love art. I love music. I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to be this or that. So you could know when, you should understand when these kind of things come to your mind and you want your own way right from when you were small. There are certain things that might not go right within you and your people. And if you really know where you're going, except that it's going to take time, you're going to go through a lot of things, you know, pain, gain, but, you know, with time you can, you know, get there. So the things I saw, if I start naming them, we won't finish this interview today because I saw a lot. For a man who lived in Liberia, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Denmark, you know, I can go on and on and on. You know, I saw a lot of things. So my inspiration and my vision is not just from one side. If you're sitting at a sport, you might be seeing things from a sport. So my vision is not just from a sport. My vision is from so many views, you know, in life. So many things I've seen in life, and then it makes me want to do something quite different that will, you know, really affect lives, you know, from the things I've seen, you know, make some corrections for myself to be a better man, and for those who might be in that situation, and those who have come out of that situation to know what to do, you know, what they went through. So I think that's what I'm about, you know. The vision is from so many sides. It's not just from a sport. Name it, and I'll tell you I've been there. I'm yet to get or I'm in that situation now. Okay, look bright. The first time in Hong Kong was 2000. Let me tell you a little story. I was crossing the road and I didn't look at the sign. So this big bus was actually coming. And it was supposed to go right. Well, by the time I saw it, it was too late. So I thought the bus was going to hit me. So I said, oh, is this how I'm going to die? When the bus went like this and I looked down and I saw look right. So actually I didn't look right. And I thought for a while, if I put B there, it would look right. So I got the name Look Right from that. From now on, that I'm supposed to look very well before I cross the road. So the vision for Look Bright came from that incident that I almost thought I was dead, but I lived to see that I was supposed to look very well before I crossed the road. So that's where the vision is from. Look Bright, look right. Then I put the B, Look Bright. So I call Look Bright from Look Right here in Hong Kong. Then I tried as much as to say, okay, this is actually my journey. I have to go through a lot of process to be able to make sense. So to me, it became a mission that will affect lives. My kind of music, the kind of items I'll be producing, I'm already on that. So if you listen very well, my kind of music is Afrochant. And my items has to do with urban, every essential from your glasses to your toothpaste to whatever. That's what I want to do. So with time, I'm building on these things. taking years. It's been a long journey, but we're getting there. Step by step, we are there. Well, it's not about ambition, it's a mission to me. If I'm not ambition or no ambition, nobody that looks at me should know I'm an ambitious man. To some, I might be over ambitious even. Eventually, I represent what I really want to represent is Young Chief and his Look Bright mission. You know, I'm an entertainer. I live in art. I keep saying that. I believe I'm an artist. I have my way and the things I want to do. These things I am talking about has been done before. It's just that I want to do it in a Look Bright way. You know, actually to add to what people are doing or have done in my own way. If you have a toothpaste, I want to have Look Bright toothpaste. If you have a TV, I want to have Look Bright TV or whatever. I feel like I can because I'm in a position to. I feel like I see these things in my dream. If you have the best music in Chesa and so, I could collaborate with you or I do my own, adding to what you have done before, a remix of what you've done before. You see, no idea is original. I'm not coming to claim to be the best or the worst, but I want to represent. I want it to be like I have a story to tell, something that I could leave for the next generation as history. So my ambition is limitless. I'm just doing my thing. If you're a politician and you happen to agree on something, we can work on something. If you are a carpenter, I see you can do this thing very well. You can have a Look Bright furniture thing. So Look Bright thing is not just ambition for me, it's a mission. I'm on a mission, I'm not a competition. A mission based on condition. Even I look at my life. It's actually my life. Those who know me very well know I used to carry pictures around. Those who know me, those who will say they really know me, know that I take pictures. I've got pictures. I love pictures. Actually, as a matter of fact, Facebook actually gave me the opportunity to stop carrying pictures and put it here. Some of the pictures I put here is not even up to the ones I have that I kept for maybe my book or maybe my, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that Look Bright, Young Chief, whatever, is about entertainment. I live in art. I'm an artist. The ambition is just about entertainment. I'm trying to say that from all my travels around the world, I learned a lot, I saw a lot. And those things I'm trying my best to put together to make a difference. I want to affect lives with those things, my mistakes, my gain, my cry, whatever it is. I want it to be part of my journey in life, a situation whereby people will understand that, look, there was this man that really did his thing his way. He was on a mission that was based on commission. It was never a competition. There are people who wake up and what they want is just a good life. It's okay if you want just a good life. Me, I want more than a good life. I want this history. I want this story. I want to be remembered. I want my picture on walls someday for those who appreciate what I went through. If my rubbish don't make sense at the end of what I do, maybe I'm not fit for what I'm saying. But if at the end of the day, from all this nonsense and everything, I happen to make sense someday, I would want to be remembered as a man that made sense finally. An ugly duckling for short. Ambition has to do with who you are. My name is bright. I want to shine my light. I want my name. I want to make my name. Young Chief, Look Bright. Let it be known that I exist that there was a time I lived on earth. That's my ambition. To be remembered someday for something unique. To be remembered someday for something that people can look at and say, there was this man that tried to do this or did that. His name is right, Eliab, aka Young Chief, Aristo Mayaki, Onasi, whatever you remember. I just want to make my name, make a statement. Fashion, music, the art, I don't have a musical record. I have songs. I have over 18 songs. To have a record, I need to go with a label who will organize this thing for me. To me, I'm not a musician. I'm an artist. To be a musician, there must be a record company involved. Then these songs can now be turned into music for real. For now, it's just songs chanting. I'm chanting on beats. I make these beats with my producers. I chant on them, trying to get my message across about my brand and my vision. That's what it is for me now. But I hope that someday a record level can just understand what I'm saying and say, oh come, Young Chief, let's do this for real. Let's now have an album. And we'll do it professionally. Now it's not yet professional for me. I'm not talking about being like Jay-Z or now. What I want to be now is Young Chief. Young Chief the artist, Young Chief the entertainer, Young Chief the prophet of Nick Wright. I'm trying to gain balance. I don't have a record, but I have promo copies. Trying to explain my kind of music. Because everything has choices. I don't want to just jump into music unless I'll be singing like every other person. Now as you all do, you touch breast, you touch ass, you shake it, you rock it, no, that's not my kind of music. Let me clear this today. I didn't set out to be a musician. No, I don't want to be Two-Face or the bad or who else is on top. Let me name some other people. I have Jay-Z or I appreciate their work, and from what their work is all about, I want my own work to meet at a crossroad, you know, like let's have an understanding of the kind of music we all play. The kind of music I play actually has to do with Afro chant. Afro chant to me means, okay, a situation whereby an African wants you to hear his voice, his program, his ideas. So I have over 18 songs, if you must know, but I don't have an album. What I have is promo copies, as in copies of these songs. These copies are not yet songs to me. They are yet to, you know, get the how do I put it? They are yet to get to the people the way I want. If this song must get to the people the way I want, I have to really sign to a label or own the label or whatever. I have to really say, okay, now I'm ready to do songs. But these songs already are just my intro. They are my intro into my kind of music. What the music will be like and what is expected to achieve. So about record, I don't have any record now. I just have songs that I did that I know that when it's time to do a record, I will have to do those records very well because none of them is actually mastered now. It's just about me doing songs or freestyling of beats and pushing out to say, look, I could do music that while I wait for an opportunity for somebody to say, okay, yes, come, let's do this music for real now. You know, let's get this music across. And each item, because each of my songs actually has each item. It's a conscious song to me. It's not about just singing out. That's why most of the time if you watch me on Facebook or Twitter, I don't really paste some of the songs from my country or from Africa because people already know the kind of songs they sing, and to me, most people are almost doing the same thing. They're not really adding to what somebody has done before, you know. They're not really trying to change the game, you know, and change is constant. I try to listen to those who are actually saying things that are for the future, something that they are changing things by words, by music, by beats, you know. So for every African music I play on my blog or my Facebook or my Twitter, there must be sense, there must be message, and I go back to, you know, try to relate to the song and try to you know, make my own beats or try to do my own song, try to explain the same things my own way again because of the next generation. You know, like a father, I would want my son to listen to my song as well and see that if he's listening to maybe Jay-Z's song or Two-Face song, he can now relate from our side, you know, from our side as an African. Then say, okay, yeah, my father and Two-Face did a song like this, or my father and whoever did this. They were trying to say this same thing. Now it makes it easier for him to understand what Jay-Z was saying there or Diddy was saying there and what the father of Two-Face said. So he can now do his own thing professionally, or it's easier for him to relate to what we said. That's what I'm trying to say. It's easier for him to really relate to our kind of music and art style to it, because of who I am and what I want in life of purpose, the reason they are in there. I have to really make people understand this is Young Chief and this is this kind of music. Not because I want to just be a musician, but because I have a message. I have a message for the people. Young Chief has this item that will make life affordable to some people. We are all under peer pressure. You just hear your places to you, and you just want to drop the last day. I always thought about it. 10 people are on a mission, and only 2 survive to come home with big cars and big houses. If we say there's roots there, there's no roots. It's a narrow escape. But when 10 is on a mission, and 8 people come back, and they build houses, and they have cars, no matter how it is, then there is a root there. Basically, so that's the kind of thing I want to suffer for, and see that people see the benefits going through that process to have the progress, then the success. So my songs naturally are based on people being their brother's keeper. Everyone knows you. If you notice, a lot of people have relations that are very much uncomfortable. But it's so difficult for these their relations to hear their cry. Some people have 5 cars, but their cousins are trekking. Some people build big houses, but nobody's living inside it except for them and their immediate family. So my music has to do with trying to tell them that if you're building a big house, it's for many people. If you have 5 cars, to accommodate so many people, it's easy. You don't have to wait for somebody to die, then you buy the big casket or you now start crying, you dance, you sew as you do. You sew abada and all that, celebrate death instead of life. So my music has to do with being your brothers and spreading love. So I started with that one rose thing to help a lot of people rise against poverty. That's why most of my plans I share on internet. I share on Facebook. I say what I feel inside. Not because I really want to offend anybody or compete with anybody, but because I feel like there are some people out there who will hear this and have a change of heart, that we should carry ourselves and recognize institutions. So the things we do for people might not be appreciated immediately, but someday, somehow, as far as the person has conscience, you remember, oh, I got this idea from this one. He might not have given me money, but he was able to put me in the position to help myself, to discover myself and what I can achieve. So that's what it's all about. Young Chief my mission for Africans, especially Hong Kong, is to create a platform for African concerts. Our magazine, our TV channel, our radio program, things that help Africans to the limelight. As at 2000, there was nothing really much happening for Africans here, except for we coming to buy goods and go home like every other trader. So it's all about business for us in Hong Kong. So within those periods, I realized that each time I go to the club or hangout, what I hear is just foreign music. And the people in Hong Kong are showing to their own kind of music, Cantonese pop and all that, except from few guys, few cats who are trying to change the scene now, like MCG, KT, Dirty R, K-Check, and a few of them that I happen to have met. So I took it upon myself that most of the African people I see, they're always talking about visiting the Bronx and all that. Yeah, they know Nike, but what they don't understand is that we can do more than that. That we've got the voice, that we've got people who are so talented that they can do something different. I'm opportune to meet people who really want to do their own thing, but the truth is that they don't have the platform for these things. We don't have our own magazine, we don't have our own TV program, we don't have our own radio program. There's nothing like Miss Nigeria or Miss Africa or African Carnival going on. Thanks to Amina of Makumba, who has a spot for Africans, you know, we are feeling her. But there's more work to be done. Like, we need to inject the youth into entertainment, because most of us are getting married to Hong Kong people, and we're having kids. And if they don't have this platform to do these things, then there might not be this African community the way the Chinese people do have their communities all over the world. Wherever they settle down to do, you hear this Chinese town, Chinese this, Chinese that, or the Indian community. You know, we don't have these communities functioning properly, and it's because we have not been able to live in art. When we live in art, we tend to see that we could create multi-jobs for our people and our next generation. So I decided to take it upon myself to relate with those who can make these things come real. I want to see TV Africa in Hong Kong. I want to see Radio Africa. I want to see Glow if possible, or Etisalat, or even MTN. Say, okay, this is the right line for Africans, and it's cheaper for us to, you know, relate with home like we are at home. You know, so the mission has to do with, you know, having people, a team that could make these things come real. And that's why I want to relate with entertainment in Hong Kong. Yes, chaos. That's my mission. And then it has to do with the light. We're in a place where light is everything. The light here inspires the thought. You know the dragon, you know it's inspired. So when you're in Hong Kong and see the way the country is developing every time, and you remember where you came from and how far we've gone, you realize that there's no more coming to buy and sell for the new generation, the next generation. That's not it. It's about consolidating on franchises, shopping malls, everything. And then here, no, and then here. It's been gone back home, it's been gone as it's been here fresh, take it back in a situation whereby our programs can be aired back home. You know, everything coming together because of this internet and, you know, science and technology. So my mission here is to help that group to make sure that we have a platform for these things. It might not end with me, but somebody has got to start it. So that's what I think I'm doing. One love now, we're spreading love, that's what it is. When people say one love everywhere, yeah, we know we are black. I wouldn't be here complaining, oh, they are treating black people like this, they are doing this to black people. No, that's not what it is. The question is, what have you got to offer these people for them to really know that you as a black man want to do things with them? You know what I mean? If you're trying to sell just yourself as a black man, anybody can be a black man. Anybody can be a black man. I've seen white black men. I've seen white men that live like black men. As in they behave like black men. They love black men. They love the attitude, you know. And I've seen black men who behave like white men. You know what I mean? So my vision is that when we say one love, we preach and practice it. When we say preaching and practicing, it has to do with being you. The real you. Without trying to be anybody, you know thyself first. Then you can be able to relate with any other person and say, look, we are spreading love. Because two is better than one. All we have to do is hold hands and we'll see where we're going and what we can achieve. So to relate with Asia and Africa will be much easier if we first know who we are and what we have to, our purpose on earth. It's not about crying every day like, no, I don't believe in that sentiment. What I want is for us to see where we can, grow together, where we can break bread in the same system, if it's possible for us to do things, our way. Lately, we have not been able to see people, doing music with Africans much in Hong Kong because some people are into their kind of music, yes. But as time goes on, you start seeing that we are now we are beginning to come, we are breaking it. We are beginning to live, we are beginning to live because Africans are settling down in Hong Kong and they are having kids. These kids go to school in the same school with their kids. So with time you see that these things will start happening for real. And this platform has to be for our kids to be able to do some of these songs, not just in their language, but within their language and our language. They add it up to make sense, you know. And the people back home will now play it better and learn this, because music is message, it's actually teaching, it's actually sending message across, you know. So if we start these things like we just started it and take it to a stage whereby people will say, okay, yeah, we have really tried. The city we are in, or the country we are in, we now embrace us and help us to achieve these things better. It makes sense, you know. So I think we're trying. I'm trying to. The truth about this city in Macaulay is that you have every opportunity to be what you want, but that first you must make a plan. So I made my plans. I have my blueprint. As a matter of fact, this is my file. Everything is ready. I have things I can back up, but it's one step after the other. So I'm on a mission, a big right mission. And the man that is on this mission is right here. Chief Kenichukwu Bright here. I call myself a good comment because I really want to make this statement. I really want this to show that I could affect lives, like I said, that I would learn some things. And the government of my country, at this stage, I believe they will see that there is need to really serve people, not as a politician, but as somebody whose ideas should make sense towards the development of my country and other African nations. Thank you. Okay. Lately, making money immediately, fast money is the order of the day. I don't have anything wrong with that if it works for you. But permit me to speak a little Igbo about translating. The Bible says, "Onye gbaje na 10, MSC no ga-anachi ata 1, 2, 3." My advice is, why rush to 10, knowing fully well that you will still have to come back and count 1, 2, 3. You know, most of us have friends whose fathers were mothers okay, nice house, big cars. But some of these are fathers didn't really teach us exactly what they need to make this money. So it becomes difficult for us to maintain their houses and their properties or whatever they left them. So we find ourselves selling our parents' properties for peanuts, maybe just to drive a car due to peer pressure. And then, sincerely, I would want to be one of those who wouldn't want to just sell off things. Instead, I can maintain them and add more to them. So, my advice for the youth is to try as much as possible to avoid peer pressure. Don't go do this because everybody is doing it. It might not work for you. Know thyself. Discover your skills. Give that your skills time and build yourself. Believe me when I say something big. My advice for the youth is that it is not a must that you will be rich. It's not a must. It's not a must. Just be contented with what you have. You might be happier than the man you think that is very, very rich. In my travels in life, I've been able to discover that even the rich also cry. There are things you have that they envy more than you know. There are things you have that they can never even have. And you are there looking at what they are showing you as being, you know, happiness. Have a vision. Walk towards your vision. And you're sure to make a change. That's my advice for you. You don't have to suffer from peer pressure. You don't have to. Break yourself free from peer pressure and you will discover yourself. Thank you work towards your God-given talent, I swear your talent will at the right time. Take the pain. After rain comes sunshine. Hey guy, it's all gold. Hey guy, I go be more cool. I have never started wearing gold in my life because I'm not yet. I don't need to borrow to buy gold. I don't need to, take credits to buy gold. I want to wear gold when I can afford gold. So I'm in the process of going through fire. So that when I wear gold, I'm like, yes, I deserve to wear gold. So don't rush to tell. Take it step by step and everything will be okay. Believe me. Trust God. If I should say I'm not doing well, then I'm lying. I know personally that I'm doing good for myself. It's not a competition. I always told you, I tried my best to avoid peer pressure. I don't want you to come here and start telling me about the houses you're building at home, the cars you're driving. I don't want you to tell me about your latest this or latest that. It's not a company. I'll clap for you. I'll be happy for you. My achievement to me is not my achievement has to do with the next generation. How will they see Young Chief in 10 years? When my name is mentioned, how will they understand? While I'm doing all these things, I know there are still some people who are there that their job is to look for the other side of what I'm doing. I mean, the negative part of what I'm doing. That's what they want the world to show. But in my dreams, all I know is that I was told that the crown is in the dustbin, which means to translate it, I need to go to work to be able to have the comfort. If you work hard, you will have to play hard. So my achievement to me so far is that one would not say I'm not a father. Which means, what am I going to teach my son or my kid? If I'm not with them now, which means I have nothing to teach them for now. But by the time they grow to meet up with their dad, they will see a lot of things they will learn immediately. Because I'll be practicing what I've preached. You understand? My achievement to me now is that you wouldn't say I am doing so bad. I'm alive. I'm good.